A dangerous wave of severe weather tore across southwestern Ontario, bringing powerful thunderstorms, confirmed tornadoes, massive hail, and heavy rain that left thousands of residents dealing with widespread damage and power outages. Weather officials issued their highest tornado warnings for areas including Glencoe and Dutton after radar detected intense rotating storms capable of producing destructive tornadoes. At the same time, enormous hailstones, some reportedly as large as tennis balls, slammed into neighborhoods stretching from Sarnia all the way to the Greater Toronto area. The violent storms damaged homes, vehicles, and crops while leaving many communities without electricity. The fast-moving storm system intensified quickly as warm daytime temperatures combined with strong wind shear and moisture flowing in from the Great Lakes and neighboring Michigan. Those ingredients created the perfect environment for explosive thunderstorms, resulting in flash flooding, damaging winds, and dangerous tornadoes across several parts of Ontario. One of the most significant moments occurred in southwestern Ontario, where powerful rotating supercell thunderstorms developed during the evening. Meteorologists later confirmed that a tornado touched down near the community of Glencoe, located about 28 miles southwest of London, Ontario. Preliminary assessments classified the tornado as an EF0, the lowest rating on the enhanced Fujita scale. Even so, it was strong enough to cause visible damage. Storm chasers and weather experts captured dramatic footage showing debris being lifted high into the air as the tornado crossed rural areas. Damage assessment teams later surveyed the affected region and discovered a narrow path where trees had been snapped or uprooted and several farm buildings suffered structural damage. While the tornado's path was relatively limited, it served as another reminder of how quickly severe weather can become dangerous. Before the tornado formed, weather officials had already issued their rarest and most serious tornado alerts for the Glencoe and Wardsville areas. These warnings are only issued when forecasters believe life-threatening conditions are either happening or expected within minutes. Residents were urged to seek shelter immediately and stay away from windows until the storms passed. Earlier in the day, communities along the Lake Huron shoreline and near the St. Clair River experienced the first wave of the severe weather outbreak. Cities including Sarnia and parts of Lambton County came under tornado warnings as dark rotating clouds moved across the region. As the storms swept through, they unleashed intense rainfall along with exceptionally large hail. Many residents reported hailstones ranging from the size of small coins to golf balls, while others described hail approaching the size of tennis balls. The heavy rainfall quickly overwhelmed drainage systems, leading to localized flooding on roads and in low-lying neighborhoods across Sarnia, Corona, and Petrolia. The storm continued racing east, placing communities such as Wyoming and Alvinston under severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings. Emergency officials advised residents to move immediately into basements or interior rooms on the lowest floor of sturdy buildings as the dangerous weather approached. Weather radar also detected an extremely intense hail core moving directly over the communities of Thamesville and Moraviantown, signaling that the storms were continuing to strengthen. As conditions rapidly deteriorated, Environment Canada repeatedly updated its severe weather alerts, warning that damaging wind gusts could reach speeds of nearly 100 kilometers per hour. Those powerful winds, combined with relentless lightning, caused widespread damage across Ridgetown and Highgate. Numerous large trees were snapped or uprooted, blocking roads and damaging nearby property. Utility crews also responded to multiple reports of fallen power lines throughout the region, leaving tens of thousands of homes and businesses without electricity during the height of the storm. Emergency officials urged residents to secure anything that could be picked up by the wind, including patio furniture, garbage bins, umbrellas, and trampolines. Strong winds can easily turn everyday objects into dangerous airborne debris capable of causing serious injuries or damaging homes and vehicles. Rather than weakening, the storm system continued organizing into a powerful squall line as it pushed farther east. New thunderstorms rapidly developed across the Guelph, Cambridge, and Waterloo areas, where atmospheric conditions remained highly favorable for severe weather. Strong wind shear and abundant moisture fueled another round of damaging wind gusts, intense lightning, and heavy rainfall. As the line of storms expanded, Environment Canada issued additional severe thunderstorm watches and warnings covering a large area from Hamilton through the Niagara region. Drivers traveling along Ontario's major 400 series highways suddenly found themselves dealing with extremely dangerous road conditions. Torrential rain dramatically reduced visibility, while hailstones, some reportedly approaching the size of tennis balls, made travel even more hazardous. Meanwhile, survey teams with the Northern Tornadoes Project documented several locations showing signs of intense straight-line wind damage around the Guelph area. Mature trees were knocked onto streets and power lines, while damaged electrical equipment and blown transformers triggered additional localized power outages throughout nearby neighborhoods. Meteorologists explained that this widespread severe weather outbreak developed as an unusually strong low-pressure system moved across the Great Lakes. Warm, moisture-rich air flowing north collided with much colder air in the upper atmosphere, creating a highly unstable environment. That powerful contrast generated the lift needed for rotating supercell thunderstorms, destructive wind gusts, and exceptionally large hail. Throughout the event, Emergency Management Ontario continued releasing public safety updates, reminding residents to take every severe weather warning seriously. Officials advised people to move indoors immediately and shelter on the lowest floor of a sturdy building, staying away from windows and exterior walls. Basements, interior bathrooms, and small closets were identified as some of the safest locations during a tornado warning. Anyone caught outdoors was urged to find the lowest ground available, lie flat if necessary, and use their hands or any available object to protect their head from flying debris. Officials also stressed that mobile homes, campers, tents, and trailers provide very little protection during tornadoes or destructive straight-line winds, and anyone inside those structures should move to a stronger shelter as quickly as possible. In the coming days, experts with the Northern Tornadoes Project will continue surveying the hardest-hit areas, including Glencoe and communities surrounding London, Ontario. Using both ground inspections and drone technology, researchers will carefully document the damage to determine each tornado's official rating, the total distance it traveled, and the maximum width of its path. Residents looking for the latest weather information are encouraged to monitor official forecasts through Environment Canada's weather services or by using the WeatherCan mobile app. Many storm spotters and weather enthusiasts are also sharing real-time updates, photos, and videos on social media, making it easier for people to follow rapidly changing conditions as they develop. As survey teams examined the tornado's path, they discovered extensive damage to numerous trees and at least one farm that appeared to have taken a direct hit. Investigators also found an overturned recreational vehicle, providing additional evidence of the tornado's strength as it moved through the rural landscape. Based on the initial damage assessment, the tornado received a preliminary EF0 rating on the enhanced Fujita scale, which ranks tornadoes from EF0, the weakest category, all the way up to EF5, the most violent and destructive. Even at the lowest level, an EF0 tornado is capable of producing wind speeds approaching 130 kilometers per hour, strong enough to damage buildings, uproot trees, and overturn lightweight vehicles. Weather researchers noted that this tornado marks the fourth confirmed or preliminary tornado to impact the Greater London region since early May. Previous tornadoes had already been reported near Lucan, South London, and the Melbourne area, highlighting what has been an unusually active severe weather season for southwestern Ontario. Survey teams are expected to return to the affected areas for additional inspections, collecting more detailed measurements before assigning a final rating. Meteorologists say there is still a possibility that the tornado could be upgraded to an EF1 if further evidence reveals more significant structural damage than what was initially observed. For many residents, the experience was both frightening and unforgettable. Amanda Vanderkoy, who lives just south of Glencoe, watched the storm develop from her horse farm while making sure her 14 horses and 2 young children stayed safe. She recalled stepping onto her front porch and immediately noticing the clouds beginning to rotate overhead. At first, she watched carefully, but as the circulation became more organized, she realized she could be looking at a tornado forming right in front of her. Once the danger became clear, she and her husband kept watch from opposite sides of their home while making sure their children remained safely inside. Within moments, the storm arrived with incredible force. She described the sound as being similar to a freight train roaring across the countryside. Heavy rain, large hail, and powerful winds slammed into the property, turning what felt like only a few minutes into an incredibly stressful experience. Fortunately, despite the tornado passing nearby, her family's property escaped with only minor damage, including several plants that were blown over by the intense winds. Looking back on the terrifying encounter, she said her heart was racing throughout the storm and that she felt incredibly grateful the tornado stayed just far enough away to spare her home and family from more serious destruction.